Thank you. This morning I was talking with Gabriel Balsera while we were walking here, and he told me, in order to have a great contest, you need three things. You need contestants, we have them. We need rules, we have plenty. And the third thing is the audience. We need to have a great audience. We need your energy. Our contestants need your energy. They need your mind. But especially they need here today your heart. I'm going to explain the rules. So in this case, we have 6 contestants. As you can see, we have few contestants online. We have 3 contestants here in person and 3 contestants in their homes. To run this contest, we need a test speech, a target speaker. This speaker will deliver a speech between 5 and 7 minutes, as standard in Toastmasters. After that, the contestants will leave the room with our Tatar, Rania, and then they will have 5 minutes to prepare their evaluations. After that, we will call on the stage one by one each of the contestants. Our chief judges, Marisa Aguilar. Marisa, are the judges, timer, ball counters, and everyone ready?
Everyone's
Great, thank you very much. Now I will see the order of the contestants. The first contestant is Percy Roland. I'll repeat it for the judges. First contestant, Percy Roland. Second contestant, Fabricio Monteiro. Fabricio Monteiro. Third contestant, Lourdes Monteiro. Lourdes Monteiro. They are not family. Fourth, Anabela Pereira. Anabela Pereira. Fifth, Jessica Breitenfeld. Jessica Breitenfeld. And the last one, Ray Sweeney. Ray Sweeney. Each contestant has to deliver the speech between 2 and 3 minutes. If they talk less than 1 minute and 30 seconds, or more than 3 minutes and 30 seconds, they will be disqualified. Any questions? Everything clear? So I will call our target speaker. She is a member of Tunes Toastmasters. And please, let's give a big round of applause to Najwa, Sarah. The title of her speech is The Giving Tree and Me. The Giving Tree and Me, Najwa Sarah Berchau.
By show of hands, how many of you have a favorite children's book? Favorite children's story? Quite a few, quite a few. Now we're all adults, but we still have favorite children's stories. In my family, the favorite children's story was The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Not only was this a favorite children's story while raising my children, it also served as a catalyst for a life-changing experience for me. So today, I am going to talk about one, the brief story in the book, two, how it led me to complete a life-changing project, and three, the lessons I learned from this project. The Giving Tree is a simple yet powerful and touching story. It's about a little boy who grows up happily playing by a tree, who was always, but as he grew older and older, he started becoming less and less happy and demanding more and more from the tree, who was always generously and happily giving to him. First, she gave him her fruit so he can sell them in the city and make money. Then she gave him her branches so he can build a house. Then she gave him her trunk so he can build a boat and sail away in search of happiness, leaving the tree just a stump on the ground. Then when the little boy, who's now an old man, still came back to the tree that is just a stump on the ground, and the stump on the ground still is looking for ways to give him and make him happy, and she still manages to do that. I'll let you read the book to find out for yourselves the ending. And there's a lot to unpack from this book about happiness, generosity, even sustainability. But I'm not going to talk about that today. Today, I'm going to talk about how it led me to complete a life-changing project. Now, this had been my daughter's favorite when she was 6 years old. She's now 23. At the same time, she was also active in Girl Scouts. This is an organization for schoolgirls to meet after school to participate in various enriching activities led by the parents of such girls. Now, I wasn't such a leader at that time, but my daughter looked up to me and said, "Mom, why don't you lead an activity for our Girl Scout troop?" Sure, I said, as a parent, you would do anything for your children, right? So I said, how about we make a play out of the Giving Tree book? It's your favorite, right? She loves the idea. Now, I have no experience with theater, but I go ahead and I write a play script out of the book, sequence of scenes and what each person is going to say and do in each scene. I changed the main character from a little boy to a little girl, so each girl can have a role to play. I have a meeting with the parents and the children, explain to them the project. They're all on board, they're excited. And we start having regular meetings. I sign the roles. Each girl plays a different stage of the life of the main character. And then I realized I have to build a dismantleable tree. A tree where you can remove the fruit, remove the branches, remove the trunk, leaving just a stump on the ground. So we can use it as a prop, as a play, taking all the different pieces together and putting it back in order to practice over and over. So I find some engineering parents to design and build that tree. There they are, working at it. Now the day has come and we're ready to perform the play, but where are we going to perform it? I thought, well, we have a senior citizen center near us who has a cultural department. So I call up the cultural department and we're in. We have a play that we're going to perform our play in front of an audience of senior citizens. Very exciting. So the day comes, we go to the senior citizen center. The audience had been brought in, sitting on air chairs, some of them on wheelchairs. And we are ready to perform. But suddenly it dawns on me that I have to introduce the play. I had to speak. I had to publicly speak. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't, even in front of such a forgiving audience. So I quickly found another parent who was able to introduce the play, and everything went fine afterward. Here are my girls next to their tree. So what did I learn from this? One, the obvious lessons that I had a problem with public speaking. How could that be? I had been teaching at university. I had been making numerous technical presentations at work. No problem. What is happening here? That was different. Technical is different. This is personal. This is simpler. This is more human connected. And I couldn't do it. So that was my first lesson. Second lesson I learned is that even though I did this project simply as a way to connect with my daughter and for fun, I realized that that has been my first brush with true leadership. Now, I had been a software development manager before, leading teams of 10 software engineers, quality assurance specialists, documentation specialists. But that was different. That was my job to do it, and it was my job to lead them. This project was totally voluntary. I did it because I wanted to do it. The team followed my lead because they wanted to lead my lead, and that was what true leadership is about. Now, I have come a long way since those days, and it is thanks to Toastmasters that I am a transformed person. And I know just like Toastmasters worked for me, it is going to work for you. So renew your commitment to Toastmasters today and take your leadership to the next level.
Thank you so much, Nayua. Very touching story. I have a small daughter, and I was very connected with your story because I read books with my daughter. Right now, I am reading The Alchemist, and The Alchemist, no one knows the book. It is about a boy who lives in Spain and starts a tree, and he starts history in the year. So right now, I'm reading this book. So yes, thank you so much. So now the evaluators have 5 minutes to prepare their evaluations. So please, the evaluators in the room, please go with Rania outside. And I will send people break. Yes. So Rafael is going to send the online contestants to a breakout room to prepare their evaluations during those 5 minutes. Yeah. 5 minutes. Okay. Well, now let's go to have some fun. Let's do some table topics. And for that, what do I need? Some volunteers. Yeah, well done. Yeah, I have many problems with the pronunciation of the I am a disaster, a total disaster. So here I have some cards. You can pick any card. So you have different questions. Read it aloud, and then you have 30 seconds to think, and then between 1 and 2 minutes. And the timer for the table topics is okay.
I will say what's the biggest myth you have ever had to clean up at work? What's the biggest myth you have ever had to clean up at work? Oh, this is really suitable to the workshop of tomorrow. How to clean your inner speaker. This is coincidence? I don't know. Like, for me, the biggest one to do it in my work, it was with my boss. One of the persons that I never had in my life. Hello, boss. I have something to say with you. Ah, okay. 1 hour, 2 hours. No answer. Why you are a boss? Why you are here? Maybe I need to be in your place. Oh, maybe not. Maybe is it just the coincidence that puts me with that boss to clean something inside me. And I start suing my boss. You are here in my life to send me a message. And then I start seeing my boss in another point of view. Maybe you have problems in your life. Maybe you have mental health problems. And it's not bad. Maybe you have a history. He have 46 years and it's a life. And I'm younger, so I didn't get to that point. So maybe I need to clean something in me. Maybe he was in my life to learn me something. And I start being less judgmental. I want to judge you. Maybe I want to listen to you more and to find another way to deal with my boss. And I start, okay, that manner or that method doesn't work. Maybe I will change it. Thank you.
Well, Mohammed, it's one. And good luck. Thank you. Yes. What's the funniest meal you have ever eaten? Who heard of McDonald's? Oh, only one. Let me repeat. Excuse me, my mistake. The time is over. He's gonna have to save me a happy meal. All family. Okay, so now I am going to call on stage the first contestant, Bertie Roland. Well, in the meanwhile, you know the rules. He's going to come, you are going to, and when he arrives here, I will say his name twice, and after that, what? That's maybe he's afraid. We don't know. We don't know. In fact, we have time. Eh?
What's your name? What's your name?
What's the fastest meal you ever eaten? Come on, quick, quick, quick. Percy Roland.
Do you know the sound of silence? We have it right now. And we had it throughout the speech. It is quite an achievement to get a group of Toastmasters to be completely silent. And it is quite an achievement to be heard in such a big room with so many people without a microphone and to keep our attention throughout. You could have heard a pin drop. Najwa, that was an extraordinary achievement. Najwa's speech was an example and inspiration. She took a story from her childhood, from her daughter's childhood. She took it as an example of something that she did to improve people's lives. And then she took that example one step further, how that project got her into public speaking, and how all of us can give this gift further. I love the way in which you started asking us a question, getting us engaged. We were all thinking, what's our favorite story? Then you told us that story. Then you told us the backstory. Then you told us the project. Do you realize this was a complex speech? This was a complex structure, and you carried it off beautifully. Well done. You did not use a microphone. And in some ways, I felt maybe you didn't need one because your presence was very powerful. Nevertheless, I think for a big room like this, you would have benefited from a microphone. Because sometimes you lowered your voice and it was beautiful and it worked very well for your speech. But I'm not sure if everybody in the back could hear you. You used the story to great effect. I have one suggestion how maybe Najwa could have used the story to even greater effect. Begin your speech with the story. Yes, it's a powerful way to ask us a question, make us think. But if you start, once upon a time, there was a giving tree. And you lead us into the story. And then you reveal the background of the story. And then you would have the most wonderful opportunity to also end your speech with the same story. Because your speech is about giving. And you could have brought it to full circle. And my third suggestion is, you're an amazing storyteller. You're an amazing speaker. I would like to see just a little bit more emotion, a little bit more of feeling the story, so that all of us could also feel your story. You're an amazing speaker. You're an inspiring speaker. You have beautiful stories and beautiful structure. Use your voice to the full. Use your stories to the full. Make us part of the stories and feel your story. But above all, I want to thank you, because today you reminded us that we don't need a giving tree. Because in this organization, we are a giving forest, the gift that never stops giving.
Now, a minute of silence to give the chance to the judges to do their work. Our second contestant, Patricio Monteiro. The room is far away. Maybe in Tarifa. Mohamed, maybe able to fitness. I have a lot of change reviews. Our second contestant, Patrick. Well, we have a problem with the second contestant. I will call the third one. Our third contestant is Lourdes Monteiro.
One second. Hey, close the door. Close the door.
Wait a minute.
In front of her.
60 here.
On stage, on the stage.
So this is what. Oh, maybe better before just sit in front of the camera.
You just here. Yeah. You want to sit here? Okay. No, but she should sit on it. So let's be careful.
One second, for our apologies for this. We want to make sure that you see the timekeeper. So the timekeepers, Lourdes.
Yes.
Okay. Muted.
Can you hear me?
Lourdes Monteiro. Lourdes Monteiro.
What a beautiful speech that the speaker brought us. I didn't catch her name, so sorry, I'm going to address her as the speaker. You got me curious about the story on the book, and I felt the need and the will to read the story. It was a beautiful speech overall, and what stood out for me, it was the stories that you told us. And the structure that you gave us in your speech, the 3 points that you shared with us, the story of the giving tree, the life-changing project, and the lessons you learned about that project concerned with the story of the book. You also used, along your speech, you used vocal variety. When you told us about the story, you used a tone that kept us curious about what was the content of the book. When you told us about the life-changing project, you used the tone of enthusiasm and the body language according to it, conducting us in your narrative. And there was a point where we felt your vulnerability, when you gained the awareness that you were not prepared to give the presentation of the play to your daughter. So the vocal variety and the body language were overall very good applied. And with the power of the stories, you kept our attention. Other thing that you did very well, it was to make a bridge to our Toastmasters and the importance that had in your life. However, I have some suggestions that I would like to give you. First of all, you looked at everybody in the room, but you did not look at us at home. And I felt a little bit, forgot. And it would be nice if you next time look at the computer so we can feel more involved. The other thing that I would like to suggest you to do differently is that you gave us 3 points in your structure, but the third one about lessons learned, you start to telling us about the importance of Toastmasters in your life and about the leadership. But I was always thinking about what's the relation between the lessons and the story of the Giving Tree. Maybe you could give us examples that the Giving Tree also gave you awareness about the need to work on your presentation and your leadership in a more clear way. Finally, and lastly, you walked a little bit in front and back like this in your body language, and you talked when you were picking some pictures. So next time when you go pick pictures, don't talk, just go there and talk later. Overall, it was a great speech. Keep up telling us story, please. And next time, work on the giving that the tree have give you to your life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Montes. Now, a minute silence to give time to the judges to make their jobs.
Very fragile. Don't touch anything.
Our fourth contestant is Anabela Pereira. Anabela Pereira.
Having a life change story with the book, with the tree and the daughter, I think that could be a dream of mine and maybe a dream of all of us. Contest Master, dear, and fellow Toastmasters, and dear Sarah, we listened today an amazing and a true inspiring life story. And when we listen a story that is an inspiring one and it's a personal story, we all like personal stories because they are unique. And this is a unique story because even if all of us could read this book, all of us felt in a different way. And we could felt that Sarah had an amazing emotion with this story. First one, she tells us this story that have a tree, with some very important points. First of all, it was the structure. It was very easy to follow the structure of this speech. First of all, she spoke about the book, what is the book, about the tree in the book, and then about the changing story with the doctor and the learning points. That's what we want to learn with the book or something special event in our life. And what we could have better than words with the book? It's the gestures that Sarah brought to us. Could you see that she was showing the book in the small bank, and then she showed us the story, the tree. All the time she pointed to the book, we knew that it's the book, the tree that was there. And she joined all of these with some vocal variety. Especially, could you notice when she has that kind of problem and she get the voice a little bit down when she found I couldn't do it? Sarah, you could do it. You could do it in this amazing speech, and you could do it even better. If you stand in the stage, in the middle, in the center of the stage, we could see all the time. And what's happening is sometimes you little bit going out of the stage and we could not see you all the time. Maybe you could be like a tree and stand a little bit and have a branch for one side, a branch for the other side. And in the gestures, you could say one lesson here and pause, second lesson there and pause, because we want to learn with your lessons too. Overall, you have a great speech. You brought us a very important and inspiring true event in your life. You bring that with nice words like generosity, like sustainability, but most of all, you brought us emotions with the voice, with the gestures, with your body. You could do it even better if you use better the stage and you pause. Most of all, Sarah, you don't have a problem. You have a challenge and you win this challenge. Thank you very much. Goddess Master.
Thank you so much, Noela. A minute of silence. I'll call, I'll call on the stage our fifth contestant, Jessica Breitenfeld. Jessica Breitenfeld.
Najwa, what a great, relatable story for Toastmasters, because I bet some of you in the room have once been afraid of public speaking. Yes? Najwa knew that, and she knew that we would relate to this story. I'm going to divide the speech into two parts. So what you did very well when you started off is, in the content, you had three parts. And it was very clear that you started with the story, you talked about your transformation, and then how it relates to us as Toastmasters. It's very nice for us to be able to follow you. Your voice, Your voice was so well enunciated. It's super important with the 17 million cultures that we have in this room and accents to speak clearly. What I would love to have seen is speaking a little bit less to a younger audience. Sometimes the voice became a little bit like it was to a child, and that is from your intonation, and we can level that. The props. It's brave to take props on stage, right? Because you show them your butt sometimes when you walk away. So very nice. A taller table would have been nice, right? Like, if you're going to show us the book, show us a page that matters, because the front of it didn't really give me much. And then the picture. The picture was so small I didn't see anyone. It was just so dark. And so if we're going to use a prop, we have to remember that props distract, just like fancy jewelry and red lipstick, right? If you notice. So be aware of the props, that you use them the right way, or else people stop listening to you. I would have loved to see in the content a stronger message. Everyone in the audience, as soon as we come on stage, you're all thinking, what's in it for me? Huh? We want to know how this book relates to us. And so it's important to maybe weave in a little bit earlier the message of the story. You mentioned transformation. The problem I had with the words like transformation was that your gestures were a little bit off. And so we want to use gestures that really matter. Hands were a lot like this. And then something like transformation was like this. How about when we talk about people getting older, we have them grow beside us? Yeah? It's important that our words match the actual actions there. It was a little bit of a spoiler when you mentioned transformation. We want to know what happened, because near the end you just said, and then I built the tree and I put the things in it and people helped me and it went okay. I was like, no, what happened? Yeah, people want emotions. Anyone like Netflix? Yeah, humans want emotions. So very friendly, nice and slow, a little bit too monotone for me. I think if you add the accent where it should be, use more adjectives. What's your kid like? What's the book like? How did you feel? For me to believe that you actually transformed, I need to see you sweating, sad, scared. Let me know how you feel. And then you move across the stage to this side. You were moving back and forth, left and right. It was nice. And we need to be clear where we are and what people need to learn from that. So keep doing the eye contact, the loving voice, the warm message. I would love to see you improve the stage presence, having your message earlier, not spoiling it. And please continue to inspire Toastmasters to join their club early. Not just join.
A minute of silence, please.
C'est bon. It's over. The minute is over.
Well, just to let you know that I will call our sixth contestant, Ray, and after that I will call Fabricio, that was the second contestant. Okay? So our six contestants, please, a big round of applause for Ray. Ray Sweeney.
Were we given a tangine in Tangier? Oh, yes. And it tasted beautiful. You took us on a journey of revelation for you personally. By show of hands, you ask us a question, you engage the audience and bring us in, telling us about your children's story and the book, The Giving Tree. You highlighted 3 things for us to take from this: life-changing, a lesson, and the parable. The tree gestures you gave us on stage were powerful and very expressive. You had your arms out like a tree. We could see the branches from a mile away. But how can a tree make us happy? Now, you're a great storyteller, and psychologists say that telling stories is one of the best ways to make a speech memorable. And you are a wonderful storyteller. You told us a story about your daughter and how you interacted with her and other children. You showed us a picture to engage us, engage the audience. You told us about the Senior Citizen Project and your interaction there. What that does for us is it throws a warm blanket around the audience when we hear those stories that make us want to interact and listen to you more. You highlighted 3 lessons for us. Number 1, your problem with public speaking. This was great because although you were highlighting points that you were working on, these were also a call to action for us. You told us the lesson in leadership, the lesson that transformed leadership to your personal journey to the next level. Wonderful elements from your speech. If I may be so bold to give you a few improvements, my first is to say perhaps use a little bit more humor just to engage us, to get us off balance. It always gets Toastmasters engaged most in moments of fun. So that light-hearted moment, we're always looking for it wherever it is. Secondly, perhaps use a pause. They say music is what happens between the notes. A great speech happens between the words, during the pauses where we can internalize them. In conclusion, one thing I also loved was the emotional shift in the story, where you went from the senior citizen to the next level. Darren LaCroix tells us if there's no emotional shift in the character, there is no story. So we're looking for that. In conclusion, tremendous, 3 magnifique, 3 out of 3. Continue to jump to your next tree, out of your comfort zone, not for the end result, but for the speaker you will become along the way. Contest chair.
Thank you, Ray. A minute of silence, please.
Finish. Time. Time.
I'm calling on the stage the last contestant, Fabricio Monteiro. Fabricio Monteiro. By show of hands, who wants to read that special book? Contest chair, today we saw a spectacular, structured speech. You could see from the beginning with the 3 points and also the 3 lessons at the end. You could see like a loop. You started and you finish with the same structure. The body position, the gestures, everything was so smooth. You could see that the tree was growing on this side, and also you could see that people were getting older on this side. Then you saw an awesome illustration with the image. You know that anything that is an object is going to captivate our attention. And because of that, I won't forget this speech. Additionally, and also to improve what we have seen over here, we could suggest that, and instead of going back and picking all the things that you have over here, you could have it in a special place, a bit more closer for you to maintain the eye contact with all the audience. On top of that, you could do some kind of theater. Mom! It would be amazing for us to just remind ourselves about someone that is really young, calling her mom. Wrap up, I really enjoyed the structure. 3 points in the beginning and 3 lessons at the end. Second, I also enjoyed the body language, the body's presentation. Then I really enjoyed the illustration with the books. If you just keep improving and you use your own way to use what we have shown to you, I think that you can step up the level of your speech by a ton. Who still wants to read the book? A minute of silence, please. Time. The ballot counters can start the picking. The ballot. Yeah, yeah.
Guys. Next time.
So, yeah.
Yeah, please introduce.
Yeah.
Next time will be your, yeah.
Well, have you enjoyed the contest? Yes, come on. We are tired. We want to go to the gala dinner. I'm going to call to the stage to the contestants, please. Thank you so much to all of you for the participation in the contest, for the quality of your evaluations. All of you. They told me to be brief because I don't know why they want to see the next contest. You know why? The best one in the was. Exactly, exactly. So I will make a very quick question. Really, really quick. Jessica, you are taking part in the next contest, so just please. Yeah, yeah. Ooh. So whoever wants to answer this question, who is the evaluator that tends to change your life? Could be an evaluator in Toastmasters or in life. What do you ask? Maurizio?
Yes, I have a fellow Toastmaster at my club called Sharif, that he was the first evaluator that I've seen evaluating as a general evaluator in a Toastmaster club without notes. So he was telling and giving feedback to every single fellow Toastmaster without notes. That for me was a flabbergasting experience.
Anyone at home want to answer the question? Ready?
Sorry, Raul, I couldn't listen very well. Your question, it was about inspiring evaluation Toastmaster?
Who is the evaluator? Who is the evaluator who changed your life? It could be in Toastmasters or outside Toastmasters.
Okay, I think most important is in the Toastmaster, we can learn how to evaluate, and then we can take this to our real life and improve our work and our relationship with our colleagues. And in our club, everybody gives feedback to everybody. So we learn with all of the members in our club. So I don't have one, I have lots of them inspiring me.
Great. Go ahead.
Hola, Rafael. Yes, thank you. I agree. I agree there with the last speaker. I don't think there's one in particular stand out. Do they change your life? No. They enhance your life. You learn from them. But it's not a life-changing moment. You can gain from the experience. One that stands out for me in Europe is John Zimmer. Absolutely fantastic. I think he's the 9-time champion of Europe at public speaking. But like the last speaker just said, it's a broad spectrum of people that you learn from, and you take little bits from everybody. Yum, 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 like a tangine.
Okay, that's all. Yes, let's give another big round of applause to our contestants. Well, thank you very much. And now we let you with the next contest. Or do we have break now? Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, we will have 5-minute break before continuing with the international speech contest.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you very much for your patience and participation. Goodbye.
Bye. Annabelle.
Bye, Ray. See you next
See
time.
you. See ya.
Nice to meet you. Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you. See ya.
Bye.